This podcast contains explicit content.
Hardly Focused
Presents
the Acc and Jack Show.
You are listening to
1 full hour of rip-roaring rap music.
the Acc and Jack Show.
The Balance Beam.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Acc and Jack Show. You can find us at accandjack.com. That is ACCandjack.com. Chris Acciardi, Jack Gill, and Nate Fillers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're Jack, I'm Acc. Who the hell's this guy?
I'm And.
And to be specific, he's ampersand.
Yes.
Yeah.
The most important character on the show.
I didn't say that.
Whenever Nate is not on the show, every other character should be asking, where's Nate?
I ask myself that all the time.
We started this podcast in 2006, the Acc and Jack Show. It's been sporadic until last year, when I think this is like Metamucil. This is the most regular that we've been recording episodes of the Acc and Jack Show since 2008. And in the
Thanks, COVID.
yeah. Thanks, COVID, and thank you, technology. But thanks to both of those, we can get all of us together on the Zooms, and Nate joined us quite frequently on the Acc and Jack Show back in the day, and then segued to Talk Radio Meltdown, now a regular on Hardly Focused, and bringing it back to 2008 by having Mr. Nate here.
Yay, it rhymed.
And for the uninitiated, we all grew up together. Yeah, we all went to the schools together. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
here we are in our 30s, still doing this. So, a lot. Sorry, Nate. What?
No, I just said, yep.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of weird shit happened today. But here's the weirdest thing. Fucking Facebook. I hate Facebook. I cannot stand Facebook and its stupid automated bullshit moderation system. I'm part of a fantastic group on Facebook called Wholesome Simpsons Posting. And the number one rule of this page is you have to be wholesome. And everything I'm about to say is not wholesome in the least. But someone posted a clip from an old episode of The Simpsons. And rather than try to describe it for you, I'm just going to attempt to play it here. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. This was the clip that was posted on this Facebook page.
So I said I must get out of these wet clothes and into a dry martini.
Well said.
Oh, you puppet again.
Thank you.
Oh, good Lord, there's a fly in my drink.
I put it there.
You did?
I slipped it into your glass as a gag.
Pure hilarity.
Pure Homer.
I pronounce it to be the most whimsical jape of the season.
Oh, man.
So someone asks what that clip is referencing, because it's actually a very obscure reference. And I'm a genius. I know everything. And I know exactly what it's referring to. It's referring to the Algonquin Round Table. And according to Wikipedia, the Algonquin Round Table is a group of New York City's writers, critics, actors, and wits. Gathering initially as part of a practical joke, members of the, quote, vicious circle, as they dubbed themselves, met for lunch each day at the Algonquin Hotel from 1919 until roughly 1929. At these luncheons, they engaged in wisecracks, wordplay, and witticisms that, through the newspaper columns of Round Table members, were disseminated across the country. It is the most obscure, thing I think The Simpsons has done, and that's a season 2 episode, I think. So someone asks what it is, and the first thing I do is provide a link to Wikipedia, the thing I just quoted.
How dare you?
Yeah, and then I get this notification. Your comment goes against our community standards on spam. We have these standards to prevent things like false advertising, fraud, and security breaches. Shut up. Literally, I'm answering a person's question. What is this in reference to? The Algonquin Round Table. God, Elmer Fudd over here. The Algonquin Round Table. All I did is post a link to Wikipedia. God, I hate Facebook.
Snopes has determined that Wikipedia actually does not exist.
Oh, does this mean I'm part of QAnon?
Yep.
Quanon?
Yep.
So there
The
you go.
Algonquin Round Table sounds like the deep state to me.
I posted I posted 2 responses. One was a link to the Wikipedia page explaining what it was, and then the second was a cartoon of the folks who regularly attended these lunches that effectively was the basis for that scene from The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
All I did was answer this guy's question and provide like accurate information. Facebook, oh, you're spamming people. We're gonna block your comment. You guys,
Yeah, all 2 comments spam.
God damn it! You get the same shit with YouTube. We had
All these platforms are doing great.
we had a video on our YouTube channel at hardlyfocus.com/YouTube that was us commenting on that scientist guy that like zaps himself, records himself getting electrocuted, and he did a whole thing about magnetized, how the vaccines don't have magnets in there. And our video got flagged for like spreading misinformation about the COVID vaccines. And at least with YouTube, you can at least like write out an appeal. You can't do that with Facebook, but you can at least appeal it on YouTube. And I just told him, I'm like, you guys are inept sacks of protoplasm. If you're going to take down my video, then you need to take down this guy's video and every video that's also playing it and commenting on it, because we're not original. And then within an hour, it was back up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that I've, read is these algorithms, often designed by wealthy right-wing white people, tend to innately include their biases. So it's like the algorithm attempting to combat hate speech might accidentally let actual like white nationalist Nazi screeds slip through, but then someone saying I hate Nazis would get banned for hate speech. Like it's just all the biases, all the unconscious biases are inherent in the algorithm, and make it so that the wrong shit is what's getting purged from the platform.
The triggers are a little too sensitive.
Yeah.
We're not ready for AI.
No.
Well, this actually really does remind me of a 2008 era Acc and Jack Show episode where like I'd fire off the show by ranting about some innate ridiculous topic. Back in 2008, it was, boy, I hate my job in the frozen food aisle at Stop and Shop. Let me complain about that for 20 minutes.
I'm really worried about this John McCain character. I don't see the Republican Party getting much worse than him.
We didn't know we had it so good.
And I believe I still have somewhere in here
my song.
yes, the John McCain song. Where is it? Here it is. I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Yeah.
John McCain, Republican senior U.S. Senator John McCain, born in the Panama Canal City zone. John McCain, son of an admiral and Roberta Wright. John McCain joined the U.S. Naval Academy.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's about enough of
Still
that.
holds up.
But it's ingenious though. It's great. I love it.
It's really good.
Is Roberta McCain still alive or did she pass on?
I don't fucking know.
Well,
I don't think I knew then.
John McCain lived to be like 82. Mothers should not outlive their children. She if she is still around, she's got to be like in her hundreds now. She got to be in triple digits. But,
Yeah, that would surprise me.
yeah. But anyway, that's what's grinding my gears today. Are your gears being grinded at all, Acc?
Not particularly.
I had a great day.
Yeah, no, my life is awesome. No, I think that's a good segue. Speaking of things lasting on Facebook an inordinate amount of time when they probably should be banned.
Oh, yeah.
A man live streaming on Facebook video his attempted terrorist attack on Washington, D.C. today.
What a stupid asshole.
Yeah. Emphasis on stupid and emphasis on asshole. So emphasis on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But, like, wild that this guy was apparently live streaming for like 20 minutes before his video got taken down by Facebook. And you can't even post a Wikipedia article.
Nope.
Yeah, right? Well, it's like, I think it was New Zealand. Remember there was that church mass shooting in New Zealand a couple years ago? And that guy, he streamed it on Facebook.
I think that was that when it all started.
Yeah, he streamed the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I don't like watching that stuff. I watched the whole goddamn thing, and I wish I did. I wish I did. It was on YouTube, of all places.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, people will do things like on TikTok, they'll like start a video with like a little wholesome thumbnail and then have it suddenly cut to something like that partway through in order to like force people to see it unwillingly. Yeah, it's messed up.
We posted the video on, not a video, but a image on our Facebook page at facebook.com/hardlyfocus podcast of this guy. He is the representation of America.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bald white guy with a goatee sitting in a lifted truck, and he threw out like $14 in singles out on the ground.
Yeah, well, I don't understand the the meaning behind the dollar bills. I want to read this guy's manifesto just to learn the significance of the dollar bills.
I do like how everybody's saying the same thing. It's his life savings.
Yeah. Yeah.
The video, I wanted to play it, and I wish I'd recorded it. The video is nowhere to be found.
Reenact it.
It's a breaking news.
I'm gonna play a little bit of this because it looks like it has some of the video in it. Can you guys see that?
It is
no,
just black.
I see a black screen.
Why has it got to be black?
That's just how it is.
Simpsons worked earlier.
Okay. Still black?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just play the audio. Whatever. Here we go.
So breaking news to get to right now. Following a several-hour standoff with police, the North Carolina man who triggered a lockdown on Capitol Hill has now surrendered. Floyd Ray Roseberry is from Cleveland County. Around noon, he posted a video on Facebook from a black pickup truck. Now, that Cleveland County I mentioned, North Carolina, claiming to be holding an ammonium nitrate bomb in his lap. All of this forced staffers in the Capitol to evacuate and the area to go into lockdown. Capitol police say eventually Roseberry got out of his vehicle and surrendered to tactical units on the scene. We'll continue to update this story as we get more in. And
they're only playing the video of the guy, and you can hear a little bit of the audio in the background, but I'm also pretty sure every other word out of his mouth was motherfucking.
Yeah, I did not watch any of it live. I'm in a politics group where some people were watching it and posting about it, and one member of the group commented, at one point in the video, he looks to his left and says, "There's the Capitol," or something, and then he looks ahead of him and says, "And there's another Capitol."
So just top of his class.
People were originally joking because he parked his truck in front of the Library of Congress, and people were joking he just typed Congress into his GPS, and that's where it took him. But then apparently he made comments in the video that made it seem like he really thought that Congress was in that building.
It was the Library of Congress, yeah.
Yeah, he was not a smart cookie.
No surprise, his name is Floyd Ray Roseberry.
49
years old from Grover, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. And I mean, people found his social media feeds, his Facebook, where it was all anti-vax, anti-mask, anti-Black Lives Matter.
Oh my God.
It's a type. It
Yeah, it is.
sucks to say this, but like, if you know someone who is obsessed with these conspiracy theories and these rants, that is the demographic of people who pack bombs into their truck and drive it to the U.S. Capitol. Like, that's the type.
Yeah.
This might be it. Is this it?
I guess some people done some things sometimes. Well, look here, you little some people's doing some things now. South.
That was him. That's
okay.
Wow.
That's the best I can find. Wow.
What do you say, Mr. Roseberry?
What a stereotype.
Yeah, right?
That guy's a stereotype. He's a cartoon character. Anything like when Family Guy makes fun of people in the South. That's exactly what that guy is.
Yep. And you could also say, oh, he's just some one random whack job. You can't account for those. People will often point out, yes, there are left-wing radicals who will, go and bring a gun. There was that one Bernie Sanders supporter who shot Republican Representative Steve Scalise. But I think it's an important distinction that I'm not aware of any Democrats anywhere in the country, like elected, actually important Democrats, who would support that kind of thing. Whereas after this incident today, Alabama Republican Congressman Mo Brooks tweeted his take on the Capitol bomb threat, which essentially boiled down to, I have it up here, I'm just going to read a couple of the sentences.
Sure.
Although this terrorist motivation is not yet publicly known, generally speaking, I understand the citizenry's anger directed at dictatorial socialism and its threat to liberty, freedom, and the very fabric of American society. The way to stop socialism's march is for patriotic Americans to fight back in the 2022 and 2024 elections. I strongly encourage patriotic Americans to do exactly that more than ever before. Bluntly stated, America's future is at risk. So he's basically saying, yeah, this guy was a terrorist, but he was right to be a terrorist, and more people need to realize that he was right, and all of his beliefs were correct and justified. Like, that is a fucked up statement for an elected official to be making about this sort of thing.
It's like essentially the stupid people will see that as, so we should do that? That's what he said. Yeah, we should all do that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like the January 6th rioters. Every single one of them will openly say and not get why this is controversial. Oh, yeah, we're here because Trump told us to be here. And then aside from that, the big debate and argument is, oh, no. He couldn't possibly have wanted that. Of course, he'd condemn something like that. But every single person there knew what they heard when he told them, oh, you have to do something to stop this steal.
Yeah.
They understood very well.
If someone tells me to march on the White House, I'm going to take that as, okay, I'm going to march on the White House.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm not going to see it any other way.
Right. Like,
there's no reading between the lines or any magic.
I just realized saying that out loud, I'm going to get zucked. I'm going to get Facebooked. Someone's going to misinterpret that and be like, you made a threat.
Yeah.
I said a White House.
Trump can't even spell condemn.
Or Philadelphia.
Well, I mean, you're seeing this now with like Greg Abbott, for example, or Ron DeSantis, like trying to, I don't know if ban is the right word, but I guess ban mask mandates. Like,
yeah.
So you want people to die. Like you want your states to be breeding grounds.
It's actually like there's a race to the bottom here. There are now like places in Tennessee that are actually banning masks. Like you will be kicked out of public establishments if you try to wear a mask and go inside.
Yeah.
Like, they're all competing to see who can signal that they're the most willing to tell liberals to fuck off.
I think it was a school district in either Florida or Texas that skated around the ban on mask mandates by having face masks become part of the dress code.
Yeah, I did see that. Yep. They found the loophole.
You would think that, I mean, I know what we're talking about here. You think that the politicians, the people who are elected in the office, especially high enough office to be governor of an entire state, would at least think of that. That it's such an obvious thing.
Well, you know, what I just find so bizarre, and there was, it was funny, there like a month or so ago, there was a very sudden change in the rhetoric of Republican officials and like even a lot of hosts on Fox News, where suddenly they all became very like, hey, get vaccinated, take this seriously. But I'm amazed it took them that long to realize your own voters are the ones who are dying. Like, that sounds like a Metal Gear Solid plot line, a virus that only kills voters of one political party. That's fucking sci-fi nonsense, but it's a real thing and you're encouraging it. You're killing off the people who give you your own jobs and power that you want. Why would you do that? What is the benefit to that? I really can't understand it.
Like, this is going to sound awful. It sounds mean. It's population control, what we're doing right now. We are doing population control. We are weeding out the scourges of society here. If you don't want to wear a mask, if you refuse to get vaccinated, if you're going to make claims that this has all been a hoax and it's like politically fueled or what have you, and you get sick, that you deserve it, and we don't need you.
You're right. It sounds cruel, and I would much rather this weren't happening, but it is on some level a self-correcting problem.
Yeah, it's every instance of someone who spoke like a politician or a celebrity that spoke out against this, and then either got ill or actually succumbed to it. And it's like, yeah, there's a radio host, this radio host guy that was like a vehement anti-vaxxer, not the one that we talked about a couple weeks ago. That was one guy who, on his radio show was saying, don't get vaccinated, COVID's a myth, et cetera, Trump 2024. But, when he passed, like his dying words were, everybody get the vaccine, I wish I got vaccinated.
Yeah.
And then another radio host just passed who literally same exact thing. And when I read this stuff, I'm like, sucks. It sucks that his family has to go through losing a loved one. But at the same time, oh no. Anyway.
Yeah. And that's the thing about people with a lack of empathy, which is the common problem among everyone like this, is it's going to have to happen to them. Because it happening to someone else isn't enough to make them realize or care. It could kill off every single other anti-vaxxer on the planet, and they'll be the last one alive going, well, obviously, I don't need to get vaccinated. And then when they get it and they're dying on an intubator, they'll go, oh, God, I really wish I got it. Please hear my story. And we'll say, well, there's none left. You were the last one, so bye-bye.
I looked up, I couldn't remember the guy's name, so I looked up radio host COVID, and the one that I was thinking of was Dick Farrell.
Okay.
And then 1 or 2 days ago, these are sources, Christian radio host who asked if vaccine is form of government control dies of COVID.
Yep.
Phil Valentine. How many of these are there?
It never ends.
You know what the Florida vaccination rate is?
Like none.
Is it? Because I heard it's like 40% or something like that.
Yeah, I think the lowest in the country is either, it might be Alabama. In there, it's like 30%. That's like the absolute lowest.
I know Mississippi has been in the news a lot just because they're just I mean, they have a history of just fumbling everything, but the vaccination rate is just being fumbled.
Yeah.
You know what's really driving me crazy is the fact that they're pushing this agenda of like my body, my choice, but they're doing it wrong. Like they're like, well, they're just hypocrites.
Yeah, on this one thing, my body, my choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to every other argument about bodies and choices we've made over the past 50 years.
I saw something on Twitter, I think it was. It was a nurse who recounted, I should say, an interaction she had with a patient where she asked the patient if she wanted a COVID vaccine, and the patient, who was very sick, mind you, responded, no. She's like, I don't know what's in it. I don't want that going into my body. And the nurse responded with, bitch, you did not question at all the 5 different medications I just pushed into you to make you feel better.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in any of those.
That's a very good point. I've seen people also say, like, yeah, if you don't get the vaccine and then you have to rush into the ER because you have COVID, the shit they're going to pump you full of in the ER to cure your COVID at that stage is way weirder and more experimental than the vaccine is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will point out, this is a bit unfortunate because he's a meme guy. He's a meme template. The very, very large man wearing a fedora.
Okay.
I think they call him Fedora Man. He is in the hospital right now on a ventilator due to COVID, which is unfortunate. I will point out that the man cannot weigh any less than 400 pounds. My gosh, is he just a very large man. And he looked familiar because he's an actor, and that was like a headshot.
He was in Freaks and Geeks, right?
Yes, and he was on Even Stevens as well.
Okay, I remember when we watched Freaks and Geeks, I looked him up on IMDb, and when I saw that picture as his headshot on IMDb, I went, "Oh, it's that fucking guy."
Yeah, very rarely do like the established actors all of a sudden become the meme templates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just like from a series of headshots, and just of course it's always just the most random things that suddenly become internet fodder.
Yeah.
But he was in Shia LaBeouf's band on Even Stevens. I think he was the bassist in the band. But see, that's unfortunate. But again, very big guy. It's in most cases. I mean, there's a lot of underlying medical conditions too that will exacerbate the symptoms of COVID. I saw someone. I had to stop myself on Facebook from looking at the comment section of like NBC Boston and CBS Boston, because it's a cesspool of stupidity. And there was some guy that I got into it with because he was trying to push the vaccination myth, citing that an 81-year-old man was one of those breakthrough cases, fully vaccinated, died of COVID. And my retort, the guy kept trying to argue with me with his quote-unquote facts, his quote-unquote research. And I just kept responding with 81 years old.
Right.
81 years old. Like, there's no excuse at that point. If you make it to 80 years old, that's an accomplishment. Anything thereafter, the way I see it, if you make it to 75, anything thereafter is fair game. Yeah, it sucks. Sucks if someone dies. You've lived a full life at that point.
Yeah.
I agree. Also, the thing that's pissing me off is they're pointing the finger like, "Hey, see, it's not 100%. You're not."
Nobody said it was.
We never said that it was 100%.
Yeah, if it's 97.5% effective, get the fucking vaccine. That's really good.
Yeah. And yes, there's going to be some deaths, but the whole point is to consider the hospital workers and also to minimize what it does to you.
Yeah.
I understand that there are tons of people out there, maybe not tons, but there's a handful of people who can't get it because of their medical situation. Yeah, I get that. But I want to say like 95% of the people who aren't getting it are just scared,
Yeah.
or they're just getting the wrong information.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
become
really
a culture
sucks.
war thing. And Trump in March of 2020 made it a culture war thing. And he didn't have to, but he chose to do it. He chose to make it, if you are on Team Trump, the virus is a hoax and the vaccines are bad for you. And if you think the virus is real and you should get a vaccine, you're a liberal.
If you,
That's obviously insane. You don't have to be a liberal to get the vaccine. Plenty of conservatives have gotten vaccinated. But the people who all day, every day, eat up culture war nonsense, that's what they've come away with. I can't get the vaccine because if I do, then I'm basically an Obama supporter.
I thought of a scary story that I actually tweeted at Stephen King. Just imagine, like, so
you tweeted Stephen King by R.L. Stein.
Well, okay, so think of this. This is where it comes.
COVID-19. Reader beware. You choose the scare.
So my thought of thinking, that's yeah, I'm gonna patent that. My thought of thinking is that, okay, I'll play devil's advocate. Let's just say that the vaccine that we all got in 6 months kills us. Let's just say that. Let's just pretend that that's what happens.
It's a good thing we can get those boosters, huh?
And speed up the process. Yeah. I don't want to live in a world where the people who aren't getting vaccinated are the only ones left. And I tweeted to Stephen King that would make a great, like, premise for a horror story. Like, you're the last person remaining amongst all these people who didn't get vaccinated, because they're all a certain type of people.
Yeah. They're all whack jobs. Oh, a pandemic that killed everyone but you and the crazy people.
Yeah.
That is a good concept.
There's just a personality. You said it, Chris.
Yeah.
You said, like, there's a personality type to these people.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I want to stay far away from it. Like, if that's the scenario that the people who aren't vaccinated survive, I don't want to be a part of that.
Right.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it's basically like there's three camps now. There's the people that are ideologically lean liberal, the people who ideologically lean conservative, and then the people with no ideology who just do nothing all day but eat the fucking diet ice cream of culture war inflammatory headlines. You know, that's what every single, and that's what Trump was. Trump was someone like that. He wasn't pretending, he wasn't lying. He genuinely was someone who does nothing but think of culture war nonsense all day. So it's like you've got people who are, you know, getting literally handed $100 bills by Joe Biden, and then all they can think of is go, oh, well, yeah, but you know, black people kneel during the national anthem, so they hate America, and you support them, so I hate you. I love America. America's the greatest country in the world, pussy. Why do you hate America? Like, that's literally every argument boils down to. It's just they just take the most purely distilled nonsense, unimportant, vapid, gossip rag culture nonsense, but that's the entirety of the political identity, and it dictates every decision they make in their entire lives.
And the hypocrisy drives me insane because they seem to leave off all the stuff that they contradict.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Bible.
You know what I'll blame on Joe Biden? OnlyFans prohibiting pornographic content on their platform starting next month, I believe, or in October.
It's a brilliant idea. I think next we should ban nudity from Pornhub, opinions from Facebook, and pictures from Instagram.
So I will say, I do want to get this out there. I agree that the headlines I've seen sound incredibly stupid about OnlyFans banning pornographic content. I have seen people share that apparently this was a misreporting, and what they've done is they've allegedly just updated their guidelines to more clearly ban certain illegal or morally dubious types of pornography. So the list I saw mentioned things like necrophilia, rape, revenge porn, things that are already illegal and you shouldn't have on your website because you'll get arrested for it. They're just like officially banning that. So if that's true and that's all they're doing, then that seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
If they are actually going the Tumblr route of no more not safe for work content whatsoever, then whoever is in charge of that decision is getting fired, because the website's going to be less relevant than Google Friends.
Right. And what wasn't it like the alternative to Patreon? Remember, it was all the like the cosplayers, the models who wanted to do the lewds, as they call them, were doing it on Patreon. And I don't know if like Patreon did something similar, but they all migrated away from there and they're all on OnlyFans now.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
I'll say that OnlyFans, there's like a whole slew of average looking cosplayers that I follow on Instagram. And it's all been theater of the mind for the most part, the way that they pose and the way that they present themselves. And you think to yourself, man, it'd be cool to see what this chick looks like naked. And almost all of them, now that they're on OnlyFans, it's like the old Jewish man on The Simpsons when he has his pants down and he's dancing and Krusty's like, that guy's giving it away for free. It's what they're all doing now. And the thing is, even though they charge for this stuff on OnlyFans, and there are people out there who will pay for it, those people just turn around and immediately post it elsewhere, and you can just do a Google search and you can find it all for free. And I see it all now, and I'm like, this is disappointing. Go back to pretending to be naked. Go back to leading people on and doing the absolute bare minimum to cover up, or utilize your poor Photoshop skills to airbrush things out. Now that you've just like taken everything off and you're just showing everything, like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like two sets of eyes that are going in the wrong directions.
I'm gay now.
I think if it's done correctly.
Yeah, there's one chick that I follow specifically. She literally just doesn't charge for him. She's just like, she posts the teasers in her stories, and then she's just like, check this out on my OnlyFans. It's 100% free. Like, all you have to do is sign up for it, which I'm afraid to do, because like I don't want, like, you can only sign up with either Google or Facebook. I'm like, yeah, okay, those are questionable options right there.
I've always seen those memes too of like on Pornhub, there'll be like a little, the option to share this video on Facebook, and it's like, yeah, no fucking thank you.
Man, it's like reading Playboy for the articles. It's going to Pornhub for the comments, because you will find some fucking insightful discussions in the comment sections on Pornhub.
I've seen Reddit compilations of novelty Pornhub accounts, like someone is Preston from Fallout 4. It's just a comment on random videos. Another settlement needs your help.
Oh man, I think it was it the Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer? Like, of all the places it was posted, the one that was racking up the most views was on Pornhub. Nate, you were gonna say something?
Oh, so I don't know this for sure, but what I've read is that the reason why they are doing this is because of the payment platform that they use is no longer like wanting to be associated with explicit content. So they're forced.
Like this podcast?
Yeah, just like this podcast. This can't be on OnlyFans. I think
we should put this on OnlyFans.
Why not?
I'll just take my shirt off. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure you don't have to be sexual on OnlyFans. I just don't know why you would go to OnlyFans just because of its reputation at this point. Like, why would you bring your wholesome, my knitting show available only on OnlyFans?
Oh, Jesus
like, that
Christ.
just seems like a hard way to get the audience you're looking for.
God, my aunt used to, and I'll preface this by saying the person I'm about to talk about is been dead for years, but my aunt used to watch this show on PBS called Sewing with Nancy, and it was this old woman who just would sew shit. And it was like Wisconsin public radio, so you can imagine what that sounded like. Not to mention she had Bell's palsy, so half her face was paralyzed. Just think. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to follow that up with, imagine this on OnlyFans. All respect to her family. Sweet. Like I said, God rest her soul, but lewd sewing. Just sitting there, knitting and sewing caps, mittens, with your tits hanging out. With your saggy old lady tits hanging out.
Well, if it's done tastefully.
Well, she was from Wisconsin, so of course it's going to be homegrown, dude. Was OnlyFans created with the intention of like hosting porn and questionable content, or was it something like Patreon where it effectively devolved?
That's a good question. I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, because I know like there's the remnants of the Kevin and Bean show from K-Rock in LA is on Patreon now. Yeah, and that's like it's like the satellite radio of podcasts. Like you have to pay to like listen to the show. Yeah. That's what Patreon was designed for, not for cosplayers to go on there and be like, pay $50 a month and I'll show you part of my areolar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, by the time I had first started hearing about it, it was in the context of subscribe to my OnlyFans, I do feet pics kind of jokes,
Christ.
People just memeing about it as blatantly a site where anyone can go and you can buy pornographic or borderline pornographic stuff. So whether there was an OnlyFans phase where no one was paying attention to it, where it was mostly wholesome content, I have no idea.
My feet, I have on one of my big toes, like years ago, I dropped something very heavy on it and just completely destroyed the toenail, and it's just been like permanently destroyed ever since. And recently I finally decided to take clippers to it and just like tore parts of it off in an attempt to try to get it to grow back normally. And I've just had this half toenail for about a year now. That's the kind of shit that you should be marketing for the foot fetishers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's all I have to do is just take pictures of it and post it, find out where to post it. Post it online. Dude, I could be making the same amount of money that Floyd Roseberry threw out of his truck today. I'd be Peggy Hill. I'd be none the wiser. God, that's such a great episode. How do you not realize that you're the star of foot porn videos?
I actually read an article about that a while ago. A woman found out that her pictures of her feet from her Instagram were being posted on a foot fetish website, and she found the guy who was doing it. And she asked him, she was like, no judgment. I'm not mad. I'm not going to try to take any repercussions. I would like to interview you because I'm really curious about why you're doing this. And he agreed. And she sat down and had an interview with the guy who's been taking pictures of my feet off Instagram and posting them on foot porn sites. Like, and it was just a fascinating, like, the whole realm of human sexuality. And it's just deeply fascinating to me.
That's very interesting, but why was she just posting pictures of her feet on Instagram?
Well, no, it would be like a picture of her like at the beach, and it would be like a normal wholesome family picture, but her bare feet would be visible.
Oh, and he's just taking it and cropping it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just like every picture was of her feet. And
no, like, yeah. I mean, and that's what's fascinating too about foot fetishists is, like, imagine if you actually get off to seeing people's feet and like all you really want to do is see a girl's feet. You probably just like fucking ask her at a party, be like, hey, can I see your feet? And she's gonna be like, yeah, sure. Meanwhile, if you're a dumb, stupid asshole like me who likes boobs or something, and you go up to a woman and say, hey, let me see your tits, that's pretty not good to say.
Yeah.
Get slapped.
I don't get people who are into feet. Like,
me either.
If I see a chick wearing like a skirt and I think to myself, wow, she got some nice legs, then I think to myself, why am I attracted to that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like that much I don't get, because like legs can be absolutely disgusting. Feet are disgusting no matter what. There is no way to make a foot look good. What I'm
inclined to agree.
What I'm thinking of doing is 100% intentional, because I have like what's effectively now a deformity due to a toenail just never growing back correctly. That is something I know I could intentionally attempt to market, but it sucks because like I showed you guys this last night in our group chat on Facebook where I had a scammer message me. And I just kept responding with Simpsons quotes and It's Always Sunny quotes, and they gave up after a while. Well, here's the thing. They said hello to me, and I responded with Homer Simpson's Happy Dude solicitation when he gets the telemarketing machine. And the scammer immediately responded with, and I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this, and I apologize. I think it was like alaye. It's something. It's like a Nigerian term. Like, and it very clearly, I'm like, okay, a white girl named Evelyn just like said something in a Nigerian's native language to me. That kind of gives it away that I'm not corresponding with a white woman named Evelyn. Also, it's 2021. What young looking female is named Evelyn?
True.
The username was Evelyn Albert, and then they fucking misspelled Albert and then in their actual name. So I eventually I called them on it.
My name is Gertrude Real.
Yeah, they stopped responding to me. I really wanted them to, because I was like, all right, I just want to point out two things. One, what white woman says, alaye or whatever, what white English looking one, and two, fucking you spelled your name there wrong, Albert.
My favorite part was when she was like, I can't give you money. You're supposed to give me money. It's like,
at that point, they're just like, look, my shift is over in 5 minutes. I just want to fucking get this over with.
Oh my God. See, working in the service industry. Can you imagine if these scammers are actually working out of like a call center where they have targets and
that's what I always like to imagine.
You have to hit your quota of successful scams. Because I my Instagram had been set to private for the longest time, and I finally opened it back up, and ever since I did, and this is why I set it to private initially, is because every day I'm getting these very clearly fake profiles that follow me, and then I get like the message requests that are almost definitely scam phishing attempts. But I bring all that up because that's one thing that's unfortunate is because like the scammer that's trying to talk with me last night, their profile photo very clearly was lifted from some innocent chick's profile.
Mm-hmm.
So like someone out there, and it's happening. So it's got to be happening to thousands of women every day, where their profiles are just getting effectively mirrored for the purpose of scamming, phishing, catfishing, whatever. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, there are a lot of weirdos out there.
Well, hey, guess what? We survived 2 tornado warnings today, so
that's
yay. Good. Or boo, depending on your point of view.
Yeah, because we got the remnants of one hurricane hitting us right now, and then we've got another hurricane on the way. We got hit with the remnants of Fred, and then we have Henri, not Henry, but Henri, heading up the coast.
Indubitably.
Those tornado warnings were bullshit, because every single time, my phone, I've never, like, I had my phone open and I never have the sound on, and I didn't have the sound on, but because it was open, I got the tornado warning alert on my phone. I jumped a fucking foot out of my chair.
Oh yeah. Those freak me out. Reminds me of shortly before the pandemic started. I was browsing Twitter on my phone on the way to work. It's like 8 a.m, dead silent on the train. Everyone's like half asleep or trying to read the newspaper, or, just on their phone. And I come across a clip of Meryl Streep in what's that show she was on? Something Liars, Big Little Lies or something.
Yeah,
and there
Big
was
Little
this,
Lies.
there was this clip that went viral of her just screaming at the top of her lungs. So I scroll past it and I think it's a GIF. So I just click on it, assuming it will be silent, and suddenly the entire train is filled with the sounds of Meryl Streep screaming at the top of her lungs, and just everyone like jolts up and stares right at me. And I'm like, ooh, I'm sorry.
You should have done the screaming son from Rick and Morty. You never want to be, never, ever do you want to be on a bus or a train with your phone open and the sound turned up, and then this plays.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
You never want that happening.
That's right. I've been playing a lot of like visual novel games, and when Steam announced the Steam Deck, a lot of people were like, finally I can play my 18 plus visual novels on the train. No one can stop me. Thanks, Gabe Newell.
Because you know Nintendo won't publish that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, we were talking about foot fetishes. Oh, I should have played this.
Jones barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot
Forgot
massage.
about that.
Yep.
Oh, that shit will be stuck in your head now.
What a classic.
Oh man. All right. Well, that was fun. That was a good talk. That was a good episode. Thank you guys.
Always happy to help.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for being here. Nate, I don't know if I'll talk to you on this weekend if we're doing
true.
Focus. So.
Before we, I want to say I like your shirt. I just watched Face the Music.
Nice. Yes. Kate got this for me for I think my birthday a couple of years ago. I don't remember. And that's what I named my cats after.
Mm-hmm.
When people look at my cats, because I've posted one picture on our, I don't even know if I posted on our Facebook page. I definitely did it on our Instagram account of my kittens. Because they're just jerks. They won't sit still. They're never together for long enough for me to get a picture of the two of them together. Yeah. So that just happened to have been a good enough photo that I could post. And Ted, everyone like comments on Ted because they're like, oh, he's got a bad haircut. Cause like the black and the white fur on him, the way like they meet right above his eye line, and it literally just looks like Jim Carrey's haircut in Dumb and Dumber. So with like the actual Bill and Ted here on my shirt, and people are like, which one's Bill? Which one's Ted? Which one do you think Ted is based on Keanu Reeves' haircut in that movie? Why do you think I named him Ted?
Yeah.
Bill's gray, he's just, okay, by default, you don't have a genetically bad haircut, so you can be Bill. So,
but yeah, I thought the movie was good. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, it's very good.
It's like true to the originals.
Yeah, it's
great.
It's very, very rare that
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
It's very rare that a sequel could come out so long after the previous entry, almost 30 years, where that sequel ends up being as good as the previous films.
Mm-hmm.
And I read several reviews of Face the Music when it came out because I liked it, and I was really hoping others did too. And even the most critical reviews I read, actual reviews, not like some jabroni on Reddit. The most critical reviews of the film still said it's a good movie, while calling out the things they didn't like about it. But they still said like overall, like it's good. So I'm glad you like it. Fro and I we've been literally waiting for this since we were kids, and
it was cool.
Yeah, the fact that it actually it got made and happened and was released, still blows my mind. I'm happy I was alive to see that. It sucks it happened, in the dead of COVID winter, but I would have loved to have seen it in the theater, but
thanks HBO Max.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's on Hulu now too, and I have it on. I actually bought a physical copy of it, yeah, that's when because I think that was one of the first major film releases where they were like, fuck it, we'll just put it on streaming. We'll just do it that way because like no one's going to be able to see this film unless you go to a drive-in.
Yeah.
And it worked. I think they charged extra for it. I got mine on I rented it on Amazon Prime, and I think they charged more than they do for a standard film because it was a brand new release, and HBO and Disney weren't yet doing the watch Black Widow on day one in the theatrical release. You can watch it on Disney Plus, but pay more than you would for a theater ticket. So, all right. It was good talking with you guys. I'll do it for this episode of the Acc and Jack Show.
Nate.
Starring Nate Fillers.
No. I didn't ask for this.
All right, I appreciate you guys.
You too.
We'll talk at you next time. See you. Bye.
From FSN, I'm Kate Moody.